Hey guys, welcome back to the channel, and let's talk some Cardano. All right, just had the privilege of listening to Charles Hoskinson for 25 minutes straight, where I did dive into some real-world assets within Cardano's integration into Midnight, as that upgrade has come full circle. But I want to talk to you guys right now because Cardano has hit a pretty big milestone, right? It's one we've been waiting for, and it's one, quite frankly, that you cannot ignore. So let's talk about it. Let's get down into it. If you are new to the channel and you do hold Cardano, make sure you hit that subscribe button down below. It's totally free. Just basically lets YouTube know that you want to hear more of what I have to say. We do talk all cryptos here on this channel, so let's get down into it. Smash that like button, and let's go, okay? One thing that I want to share with you guys, though, none of this is financial advice. I'll just tell you guys in transparency how I do things, and I do hold a crap ton of Cardano, so that's kind of where we're going to be talking about it, not just for my interest, but for me to share this good stuff with you guys as well, okay? But let's look into it in terms of how Hoskinson has detailed real-world assets within that integration in Cardano's Midnight upgrade. Now, I am not going to get into the crazy kind of 25 minutes that he did because you have to have a kind of an appreciation for that, and quite frankly, he is better at speaking in terms of Cardano than I am, okay? I'm just going to be honest with you guys. So that's a little bit more techie, a little bit more in-depth, so make sure you check that out. I will show you guys real quickly what goes down, okay? And you can see it right here. Right here on the 26th of November, you could see this, almost 72,000 views. But one of the things that I kind of just took from this was it's kind of crazy to see, I think, how misunderstood Hoskinson is in terms of the perception that people have of him, and myself included, right? I think for a moment in time, I think more or less people were mad at him for not pumping Cardano's price when everything else was running. But I think it's kind of like having that faith, and it just kind of reinvigorates you when you see this stuff come about, and we do have a positive market, and just Cardano hitting $1. I think it's plain and simple, guys. He is has that scholarly approach, not the financial advisor approach to crypto, okay? For the likes of it, I think a lot of crypto heads could give two shits if their coin goes to $10, $100, or 10 cents. I'm just being honest with you. I think what it really comes down to is actually using that science, applying it to real-world functioning, and what Cardano can do in terms of just processing security and eventually getting into the real world, and just having a true utility, and how he looked to distance himself from what Ethereum, and obviously being the former CEO of Ethereum, how that all shook out and what he was trying to prove upon. And that's the fundamental reason why I bought Cardano in the first place, right? To be honest, my crypto knowledge base was very small. I was a student in the game. I was very young and naive, looking to get rich quick, but I actually had it in some form or fashion. I wish I had the approach now that I had back then, because basically I just picked 3 cryptos, dumped a ton of money into it, and I've been locked up in holding. All right, I was a hodler, and now I'm a trader. Meme coins, altcoins, everything, right? So I do follow all market patterns, and that's kind of what's different about my approach now than 2019, 2021, all that good stuff. Okay, but something else about crypto I want to share with you guys too is just to further reiterate. Let me know in the comments. Do you agree with me? Do you think Charles Hoskinson could care less how Cardano's price is going? Because if you truly believe in that vision and the end game, right, where Cardano heads to, what they're able to do for the globe, I think that's kind of where you get your rewards from the price action. Now, us as traders and investors, and quite frankly, as people that are desperate to get back to all-time highs for Cardano, I think we look at it down a different scope, and I think that's kind of why, as we sit here as 2024 looks to conclude, why we're a little bit salty about it, okay? But let's get down into Cardano real quick before I talk about this huge upgrade and milestone that we have come about. And this is where we're going to dive into kind of the chart. As we look into BYDFI, you can see here we have a $1 in flat level for Cardano, but we are kind of swinging up, okay? And I know that these guys, when we look at these candles and we talk about kind of where we're at, this is what's important. These are 1-minute candles. So this was me just having some fun a little bit earlier on, but we're going to switch to the daily because that actually is what I would use to actually have it make sense. And we have this kind of, still wicking up, right? We are still trending up. I think this is a healthy correction. A lot of people are running for the hills. They see Bitcoin dropping down to 93,000. You hear people saying that Bitcoin's peaked at 100. The resistance is too much. We'll never get through. I beg to differ. I still think we're trading hot. I think that there could be a little bit more so to come. Obviously, what I say is not the gospel. It's not a crystal ball. It is just my opinion with my money in my market. So make sure you do your own research and due diligence. But if you do want to trade the market, this is where I have a great offer right now within BYDFI. If you want to sign up below, you can click this link down below for 10% cash back on your money. Build your dream finance, okay? And as I look into Cardano right now, and I showed you guys, apologies, I wanted to have that up on the screen, but Cardano at $1, okay? So we have corrected a little bit, and you can see kind of where I'm going with this on the daily candles. But as I was talking about this is all-time highs, okay? So a lot of people are playing futures within ADA. It's a little bit more stable than most, so that is something that you could get into. But for me, guys, in my money, I'm waiting for Cardano 2029. We'll have some updates along the way where we might have to start thinking about that price target that I've had from day one. That was a $9 plus price target for ADA, and that's where I bought the majority of my Cardano in that $1 to $2 range. So we have buys as high as $3, and we have buys as low as a quarter. So that's why it's very important to keep up to date with what's going on in the market. But as I was talking about BYDFI, just not to preach about an exchange, but if you are looking for a great exchange promotion, this is probably one of the hottest in the game. 10% cash back. Spot trading fees are 0, and you are able to trade perpetual futures on this platform. Make sure you do your research, check out the terms and conditions as well as the KYC, but start trading today on BYDFI, all right? And that's where we're going to get down into this midnight upgrade, right? Check out that post on his X. But the wrapped Bitcoin within Cardano, that is that new layer of blockchain integration, right? And that's kind of where real world assets within Cardano, it's a good out. It's another avenue that they could go down and kind of have an out. All right, it's just like playing cards, right? You don't want to have all your eggs in one basket. You want to diversify, and that way you can still continue to develop and evolve. But I think Cardano's development right now, right, as they near a full roadmap. This is kind of where you look at midnight and kind of where they're looking into in terms of just being compliant and being able to be actually used in the real world, okay? And that's where I think this upgrade is key. So that's just a little bit of a update on that, okay? We've known what's happened with the Wyoming stable token commission within that state stablecoin project. We know what's happening within Trump and potentially within there as being an advocate or some role up in Washington. But to conclude, guys, I want to share with you guys this other big news headline. This is Cardano deploying its first ZK smart contract, okay? This is successfully landed, and this is where we have it executed, and this is where we talk about the tech here. This is using that ZK Snark tech and demonstrating Cardano's focus to scale, okay? And this is where you look into how the beginning of the ZK applications on the Cardano network as we look into kind of how this is going to come about. Okay, well, the first transaction was, sorry about that. The first transaction was initiated to freeze funds intentionally, but then the second was used to basically unfreeze them. So that's kind of where you look at the cost of that. It took about $1.90 in terms of the actual cost, and then in terms of efficiency, it did take some time to complete this. Okay, so the IO input-output considers this reasonably low, relatively speaking. I don't really have anything to compare that to. I'm going to have to take them for their word for this, but this is something where as you get into these features, you could break down large problems into simpler problems, and that's something where we talk about scalability and connectivity of the blockchain. That's where you really start going down that rabbit hole within its first ZK smart contract, okay? So I'll end you guys with that. Make sure you like, comment, and subscribe down below. Apologies if the screen was not showing the chart a little bit earlier on this video, but we will be talking the tech on Cardano. We will be giving Cardano price predictions, where my head's at, where we're going. I'm not a crystal ball or a wizard, guys. I'm just a crypto trader, just like you guys out here trying to make a buck and enjoy the run that blockchain is going to have in this crypto revolution that is going to kind of take over the globe, I think, in the next 4 years. So that's kind of what we have going on. Subscribe down below for more. Smash that like button. Also, please give me a follow on X, and be sure to check out that 10% cash back. Start trading today with BYDFI, other sponsors in the links in the description as well. Appreciate you guys. Cheers.